Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest businessmen to ever live, was once asked what is the secret to his rapid success. To which he said, "I can focus on something for 5 minutes." This sounds simple, but if you've ever tried meditation, you know how hard it can be. There is something very beautiful about being in the flow of the moment, whether it is trying to do some important project or spending time with their loved ones. So the question is, how can we increase our focus in a world that is full of distractions? And the answer is we have to start with the biggest source of our distractions: our phones. This is a problem that I've suffered with a lot. So many times at the beginning of the day, you set your intentions for the day, you are in the right mindset, but an hour later you find yourself doom scrolling on your phones. So if there is a difference between how you would like to spend your day and how you actually end up spending it, and the reason behind that difference is your phone, then this video is for you. So in this video, I will be talking about the strategies that I use to make my phone distraction free. Some of them are fairly simple, some of them are more extreme. Depending on how bad your situation is, you can pick and choose from them. So without wasting any time, let's get started. The video will be divided into 2 stages. In the first one, we will be talking about how many times you pick up the phone. And in the second one, we will be talking about how to spend less time once you've actually picked up the phone. Strategy number 1, using focus modes. Focus modes come built in your iPhone, and the best part is you can customize them. There are certain times of the day when you want to stay notification free. For example, first few hours in the morning and a couple of hours before bed. I love focus mode because it is customizable and because it is automatic. Once you set it up, you're done. We're first going to start with the focus mode. So let's start by setting up a night routine for us, because it's a commonly known thing that it's not good to use the phone an hour before the bed. It has too much stimulation for us to have a good night's sleep afterwards. So we'll go to health. Scrolling down, you'll see show all health data. Scrolling down, we'll click on sleep, and then you will have this section here, your schedule. So we'll add hours, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. That sounds good. Okay, click add, and then you have to add full schedule and options. You go in there, and I've set up my wind down to 1 hour 30 minutes. This means that my phone will go on focus mode 1 hour 30 minutes before my bedtime, which is in this case is 10 p.m. So we have set our schedule: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty much the whole week. And you have to change your alarm in here as well. Okay, we'll do that. And a good thing about this is the sounds are a bit different than what you see in the regular alarm. For example, this one, the early riser, is not as harsh as some of the other ones. So I like it because of that. I'll click add, and that's it. So now automatically every night at 1.5 hours before your bedtime, or whatever you set it out to be, your phone will go in the wind down. So your screen will darken up, that is your notification screen. You will not see any notifications from anyone. So no one will be able to call you other than your favorite contacts. The next part is we will set up a morning routine. So we go to settings, we have the focus mode. I've already created a morning routine, but we'll make another one. Custom, let's just say MR for morning routine. Yep, that sounds good. Okay, we'll click next. Custom focus. So this is the area where you can select who are the people who can call you in this time frame, because a lot of people do not put their phone on focus mode, worrying that they might miss some important calls. So you can select the people that you want to get calls from, and then click on just allow people only. That's it. So the people that you selected will be able to call you without any problems. Then you go to apps, and then there are certain apps that you might want to use in the morning. For me, that might be my meditation apps and maybe the reading app. Okay, let's do that. You can customize the screen as well. This basically changes your home screen, and you can change the wallpaper on different focus modes. Now what we want to do is turn on the smart activation. It's turned on, and we will add a schedule. We'll go with time. So wake up at 4, so 4 a.m. to the time that I have breakfast, so 9 a.m. So now I will not be disturbed by any notifications other than the really important ones before 9 a.m. in the morning. That's it, done. Simple as that. Strategy number 2, modifying summaries. The standard way in which notifications are sent to us does not make any sense at all. We have so many apps on our phones, and once you hear the phone ring, it can be anything from an important message from your friend or a useless notification from an app you don't really use that much. But even though the usefulness of the notifications are so different, the excitement and the dopamine level it creates inside of you when you hear that ring is the same, because you don't know what you're receiving. This needs to be changed and can be done very easily. So the next thing we're going to look at is the notification settings that you have on your iPhone. So you go to settings, you go to notifications. Here we have a couple of things. We have a scheduled summary, and we have all these notification styles that are specific to the apps. Now where you want to start is you want to turn off the notification for most of the apps. Let's say for example the App Store or the Apple Store or the Books app. These are things that I don't need the notifications from because they're not as important. Whenever I decide to use them is I can catch up on those things. So you basically turn off the notification on most of the apps. Next thing, you select the apps that require your immediate attention. So these are apps that will be able to send you notification as soon as they arrive on them. So let's say my banking app. As soon as my anything comes in or out of my account, I want to receive the notification. So I've turned the notifications to immediate. Same thing goes for FaceTime and some of the other apps like my messages, the phone, etc. Lastly, there are apps that require your attention on a daily basis, but it does not have to be immediate. So what we're going to do with that is click on scheduled summary. These are summaries that you can receive on certain times of the day. So let's say for example, in my case, after I finish my breakfast, I like to catch up on any of the notification that I might have gotten the previous night or this morning. So I've set up the first notification to 10 a.m. This is where I can catch up on all the emails, on the WhatsApp messages or anything else that requires my attention. The second summary is after I've done my work for the day, I've had dinner, 6 p.m. And you can add more timings as per your convenience. Let's say you want to check the phone in the middle of the day as well, 3 p.m. done. So what will happen is at these times automatically your notification center will receive all these bunched up notifications together. What it helps you do is not get distracted from all these notifications throughout the day. You've selected which ones are important to you and those will come in straight, and the ones that are not so important will come at specific times, so you still have time to catch up with them, but they're not going unknowing distractions all over the day. Now we move on to the second stage, that is after you've picked up the phone, how not to spend hours on it. And to do that, we need to deal with the doom scrolling apps. Doom scrolling apps are basically apps that have infinite refresh. For example, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The reason I call them doom scrolling apps is because they can keep refreshing videos until the end of time. These are dangerous because once you go in, there's no telling when you'll come out. These apps are designed in a way that get us addicted. You will find that after using these apps, you will not have much motivation to do anything else, because everything else in comparison becomes boring. If you see your screen time, you'll find that these apps are the one where you're spending most of your time. Let's look at how we can deal with it. Next strategy is experimenting with two phones. Here is something that I tried. I uninstalled all these apps from my main phone and put them on my old phone. My old phone now stays in a box downstairs, and I'm allowed to use it for 2 hours in a day. So now if I want to procrastinate on one of these apps, it is much difficult for me to go downstairs, take my phone out and start using it. If having two phones sounds like too much, you can experiment with deleting the apps and only reinstalling them for a certain window of time in the evening. For example, if your window is 5 to 9 p.m., You can install it at 5 p.m. and then delete the apps at 9 p.m. I tried this method before moving on to the 2-phone approach. It is just as effective, but it just takes slightly more willpower because it is very easy to install these apps again. Literally takes less than 2 minutes to download all the apps and log in into them. So sometimes you have to resist the temptation of downloading them during the day outside of your play window. The next strategy is using color filters. Out of all the senses, the sense of vision is the most dominant in human beings. So we are naturally attracted to something that is colorful and bright. When we see the phones lit up by artificially bright lights, it makes them more interesting than our surroundings. But what if you turned on a color filter? I experimented with this and this has been a major game changer. Without the colors, the phone becomes boring and simply annoying sometimes. So there is no reason for you to use it other than when you really have to use it. As you can see, this is what a regular iPhone looks like. And if you open up any app that has a lot of visuals like YouTube, Instagram or Unsplash, it looks very visually appealing. But then you turn the color filter on and it just looks very boring. It's not appealing at all. These bright and beautiful pictures are not as interesting or not as eye-catching anymore. In a minute, I'll show you how you can turn on this filter and how you can create these shortcuts so that you can get in and out of the filter very quickly. Now let's look at how to turn this color filter on. For some reason, even if I turn the color filter on my phone, when I'm recording the screen, it's not showing up. And the same thing happens if you take a screenshot or basically anything else. It's just the screen that processes the filter. So if you take a picture or anything else, it's fine. It will come up as regular colors. So the regular way of setting the filter is you go to settings, you go to accessibilities, then display and text size. Then when you scroll down, there is this color filter and you can turn it on. There's many different kinds of color filter, but for our intended purposes, we're going to use grayscale. So this whole process can be annoying to do over and over again. For example, if you want to take a picture and you want to turn the filter off to see the colors, then it is just annoying to do this over and over again. So now let us look at how we can set this color filter as a shortcut so that we can get the filter turned on and off with just a tap. So we go to shortcuts. There is a plus sign on the top right corner of your screen. Click on that. We will add action. We'll look for filter. Scroll down and we will see set color filters. Then we'll click on if, click on input, the last option, which is shortcut input. Now we'll go up here where it says receive any input from, where it says nowhere. Click on that and we will click on add to home screen. So we can change the name of the shortcut. It says new shortcut 6. We can just say filter on, and that's it. When we add that, you'll see that now you have a new filter on the screen. If you click on that, it's gonna turn this screen black and white. You can't see in this recording for some reason, but that's what it is doing. Here is an experiment. If you're someone who's addicted to social media, try the color filter on for a week. You will see that Instagram, YouTube becomes much less interesting when there are no colors in it. It will be much easier for you to catch yourself mindlessly scrolling and to put the phone down. I saw serious changes in my screen time when I did this. I know this sounds extreme, but trust me, try it for a week. I believe we are the first cyborgs, so it is important for us to understand what kind of impact these devices are having on us and how we can use them in a way that multiplies the human potential. So if you took value from this video, please hit like, and please let me know down in the comments if you used any of these strategies and what difference it made in your phone usage. And if you use any strategies that I might have missed in this video, please let me know as well. Lastly, subscribe for more such videos. I'll see you in the next one.